So when I came out, like, what would you say? Like, how was your reaction when I came out?
Um, yeah, and that's probably when you talk about your experience of how you came out and when you came out, it's a little different to how I experienced it and how I saw it. I mean, you talk about how you had come out to me years ago, you know, um, but you didn't actually say words. You didn't actually say the words. I think you were thinking about things and you may have thought you were expressing things to me, but actually for me, it wasn't, I didn't click in things at all. I can see how you had wanted to say things to me or even may have said something, but I just didn't click for me until it was at kind of a desperate stage. So, yeah. So it was a different journey for me. It took me a little time to process things because that's how I am. Hey, that's how I need time to process. Yeah.
I didn't want to bring up something that I knew would be difficult because growing up in the church, like I didn't know how to talk about sexuality. None of my other family members or had brought it up, or I hadn't seen anyone talk about it. Yeah, so it was hard for me to talk about relationships in general, but I think maybe you just saw what was a relationship as a friendship.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And I think I was afraid of the consequences of saying that I liked girls, like what that would mean in the church and in the family. I was afraid of what the consequences were, and also around like being gay and homosexual. I had grown up around like that's bad and that's evil, and that's not something that's not the way that you had planned my life like to be as well. I was aware of like the expectations of to have a family, to have a husband and to have kids. And I think that made it difficult for me to talk about that I actually like females or women. Yeah. Yeah, do you think?
I get that. Because looking back on it now, it's I have such a different, much more open way of looking at things now, and kind of realizing my own self, how sheltered, really honestly sheltered I was in my thinking also. Yeah. Like that kind of sadness for me that you felt that way, that you couldn't communicate that with me, but I totally understand why. Yeah. Coming from such a strong religious background. I mean, I've heard you talk about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, after Dad passed away, like the whole concept of being taught that families are forever, and that if we want to be together forever, not just in this life, but in the next life or eternity, we have to live a certain way. And part of that is obviously being in a relationship with man and woman, being married and having children and being sealed in the temple. And obviously when I came out and in a relationship, wanting to be in long-term relationships with women, that goes against that idea of being a forever family. And I felt like that would be one of the biggest barriers for you. And I'm making assumptions that, like, when I wanted to talk about it, I felt like I disappointed you, and that I would be the reason our family wouldn't be together forever because of my choice to, you know, to be in relationships with women and not force myself to be married to a man or to have children, even though I know family is the most important thing in our culture and also in our religion. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember when we were sitting in the car, and you did say to me, you did tell me, you actually gave it a voice and actually said to me words. And I remember the stupid words I said back to you straight away. My initial thoughts, my initial expression to you was, you don't want to be with Dad and I forever. It, as soon as the words came out of my mouth, I knew I couldn't take them back. And I think straight then and there that day, I thought, that the only thing that was important to me is you. That you know that I love you. And that's all that mattered. And so for me, it was a easy turnaround. That just came first before everything. Before the feelings that I felt of inadequacy, I thought myself as a parent, as a mother, not really about your decisions, but about thinking I was someone you'd be able to come to with anything and just not being that person. Thinking about all the thoughts and things that I'd grown up with that influenced how I reacted to you. It was, yeah. But being the person that I am, a very private person, I think I needed that time for me to process that for myself. And I think after that, you kind of looked at that time that I took for myself as a rejection of some sort. You kind of took it quite hard. But for me, that's what I needed. I needed time for me to figure it out for myself. And, yeah, when that time period was over, that was it. It was just like open arms for everything that you do. Just so proud of you, just so grateful. Yeah, I don't look back at all. Gosh, I'm just totally so proud of you and just love you so much. Thanks. What? What did you say? Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Like, your time that you took to process, I did take as rejection. Only because, I had lost Dad when I was 18 and didn't lose him by choice. And then when you stopped talking to me, I felt like, oh, you're choosing that. And that I already lost one parent, now felt like I lost you. When all based on something that I felt was like, being part of the rainbow community is like a part of me, but it's not all of me. Felt like there's more to me, and that, yeah, I didn't want you to miss out as well, like on me studying or like all the other things that I was doing. So that's the only sadness, is that I don't want you to miss out. I don't want me to miss out on you, because you're getting older. Thanks. Yeah, I know you need that time to process, so like I can be at peace when I look at it that way.
Yeah. And I don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't. The worst case scenario for me was being disconnected from you, and there's no way that was going to happen. I couldn't let that happen. So yeah, choices. It's all about choices. And I even remember you saying to me once about that reaction thing. And what I remember saying to you, you know, you can choose to share that with us as parents. You know, you can choose to share that with me as a mum, but you can't choose how I react. And that's kind of the yeah, that's how I kind of looked at the way that my friend had kind of reacted. Yeah, I do remember saying that to you because it's such a personal thing. And I think it depends on what kind of person you are. And honestly, that's how I am. I needed that time. But you also know me that after that, it was just gung-ho go. Just no looking back, no regrets, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of me. I feel really happy that with Manioro that you feel like is a safe space. I think that's, you know, thinking about nevertheless and why we created a mental health organisation and why we created these safe spaces. A lot of it has been drawn from feeling the absence of those spaces. But that's no one's fault. Like, that's not your fault. That's not my fault. That's just how it's been. But yeah, I feel mostly proud, and especially how you've been able to champion for other rainbow people. I love that you're enjoying the hub and creating a safe space for other rainbow people. I feel like knowing that, you know, you're there and you can be around, be a mother figure to other rainbow people is nice. How's it for you?
Oh, I love the hub. And I think that safe space, I was thinking that I had to create a safe space for them, but actually it's a safe space for me also. Just learned so much from being around them and just hearing their stories. Just that openness and sharing with me has helped me to understand just a glimpse, just a teeny bit of what your journey must have been like for you. So I really appreciate them, and I appreciate this experience I'm able to have with them. Yeah, but I totally think about you all the time when I'm thinking about, you know, when I'm there because that makes me feel closer to you, even though you're not there. So yeah, not missing out, just less. If I could go back, I would just I haven't really wanted to have any regrets about anything. I just wish, honestly, I would have told myself to be more open and listening and all the things that I thought I was, to actually be those things. I think to actually really make sure I had a relationship with you where you felt you were able to say those words to me a bit sooner than, you know, and that I was open to hearing things, real things, rather than my little picture things of what I thought I was looking at. But just looking at you. But I hope you always know that I always love you. Then now, if I could tell myself, I couldn't tell myself to love you anymore, then I love you now. Yeah. What about you then? Yeah. I think if I could go back, probably just tell myself to be patient. Yeah. Maybe have a little bit more faith in good things to come. And that, yeah, maybe not feel like, yeah, the silence doesn't mean an absence of love or support. Yeah. And probably just that, yeah, I love you, and yeah, I always would think of Dad as if he would be accepting, because that's the way I choose to think of him, think of how it would be. But yeah, ono sai, just patience. I think patience. That's what I would say. Yeah.